If you're hunting for the Monoprice Blackbird 4x1 HDMI switch, thinking it will simplify your home theater setup by letting you connect multiple devices to one display effortlessly, you're in the right place. But here's what surprised me. This switch, which advertises top-notch 4K at 60 Hz support and ARC capabilities, isn't exactly the smooth operator it promises to be. Most people expect plug-and-play magic, yet the Blackbird throws some unexpected curveballs that could frustrate even the calmest tech enthusiast. So, before you spend your $89.99, let's dive deep and see if this HDMI switch lives up to the hype, or if you should reconsider. Ready for a twist? This might just save your sanity. Let's get started. First off, who exactly is this product for? If you've got multiple HDMI devices like gaming consoles, streaming boxes, Blu-ray players, or even a sound system, and you're tired of manually switching cables or juggling remotes, the Monoprice Blackbird sounds like a dream come true. It boasts compliance with HDMI 2.0 and HDCP 2.2, ensuring modern compatibility. Plus, it supports 4 HDMI inputs and 1 output to handle multiple devices. You expect flawless, crisp 4K at 60 Hz picture quality with full 24-bit RGB color, plus dual ARC support for audio. Sounds like the perfect Swiss Army knife for your entertainment system, right? Well, almost. Here's the catch. Despite its solid specs on Amazon, where it scores a middling 3.6 stars, many customers report quirks that slow down or spoil the experience. Let me walk you through some specifics, with a few honest stories I uncovered. Imagine plugging in your PlayStation, your Roku, your Xbox, and then the switch hiccups, refusing to recognize devices correctly or dropping audio randomly. Think about the frustration when you're all set for movie night, and the HDMI switch decides to take a nap. That's what some users have encountered, but here's where Monoprice tried to get fancy. The Blackbird includes bidirectional IR pass-through. This means you should be able to control your devices with one remote, without pointing it directly at each unit. Sounds futuristic, but in practice, this system sometimes overcomplicates things. Multiple users have complained about the IR commands being delayed or misinterpreted, like a game of remote control telephone gone wrong. A good joke here would be, why was the HDMI switch bad at stand-up comedy? Because its timing was always off. If IR control is a must for you, this might not be the seamless solution you expect. Are the video capabilities at least solid? Generally, yes. The Blackbird claims support for all 3D video modes and HDCP 2.2 compliance. That means it can handle copy-protected 4K content from streaming devices perfectly, or so the specs say. However, keep in mind that some users reported occasional video flickering or handshake failures on specific TVs and receivers. This inconsistency may depend on your setup and cable quality, but it's something to be wary of if you want rock-solid reliability in every session. One cool feature is the audio extraction option. The Blackbird has a combined 3.5 analog stereo and mini Toslink optical output, so you can route audio to external speakers or soundbars, even if your TV doesn't support ARC well. If you're an audiophile or just seeking better sound control, this is a nifty bonus that sets it apart from some budget switches that don't even bother. Just remember, this added complexity sometimes introduces audio sync issues, where sound and picture don't quite align, which can be annoying when watching fast-paced content. Now, before you start thinking the Blackbird is a total lemon, let me make something clear. For many casual users, it simply works fine. The build quality is sturdy, the design is sleek and compact, and it doesn't require any complicated installation. Just plug it in and go. For setups that are simple and don't push the limits of 4K or HDR content, this switch could be a budget-friendly choice that ticks all the boxes. It's just the edge cases where things get tricky. Let's pause here and imagine you're a streamer or a gamer who often switches between different consoles and streaming boxes. Would you tolerate intermittent glitches in your HDMI switch? Probably not. But maybe you only want a tiny, simple device for basic HDTV use. Then the Blackbird might surprisingly be your hidden gem. This review isn't to scare you off entirely. It's about knowing exactly what you're getting and what you might sacrifice. That said, some users have noted a puzzling feature. The switch sometimes resets itself without warning. Imagine watching a crucial scene and suddenly everything blacks out because the device decided it needed a catnap. It's like your HDMI switch caught a virus, except no antivirus can help here because it's just a hardware quirk. Monoprice has acknowledged firmware updates to improve stability, but as of now, these hiccups remain a pain point for many. On the support front, Monoprice offers decent customer service. They're responsive and willing to troubleshoot, which is more than you can say for many competitors at this price point. However, a helpful tip: when you call, have your model number and purchase receipt handy, because troubleshooting over HDMI issues requires patience and persistence. Your time is valuable, and waiting on hold is never fun. Jokingly, this switch works better as a temporary excuse to call your mom than as a permanent solution. So, what's the final verdict? If you want premium features like HDMI 2.0, a compliance, ARC support, and flexible audio extraction without breaking the bank, the Blackbird 4x1 HDMI switch presents itself as a reasonable contender. It packs multiple useful features into a compact design and can simplify your setup if you don't mind occasional quirks. But if you demand rock-solid stability, zero glitches, and flawless remote control IR, you might want to explore higher-end alternatives or wait for firmware improvements. In fact, some users who returned the Blackbird cited persistent flickering, random resets, and slow switching speed, issues that can seriously disrupt your viewing or gaming experience. If you've got a high-end 4K TV and multiple devices, the last thing you want is a switch that becomes the weak link. So, my suggestion: balance your needs honestly. Are you okay with minor annoyances for price savings? Or do you want seamless luxury? This helps you steer in the right direction. To bring this back to you, the viewer, think of your current frustration juggling HDMI cables and remotes. The Monoprice Blackbird 4x1 HDMI switch promises relief, and for many, it delivers, with some caveats. It's like that friend who means well but occasionally forgets your birthday. You still value them but keep a backup plan ready. If you're eager to give it a shot, check the link in the description for the best Amazon price. But remember, prices fluctuate fast, so don't delay. Wrapping up with a positive note: despite the hiccups, the Blackbird offers excellent value for the price. It's packed with modern features most people want today, from 4K HDR to ARC and audio extraction. With firmware updates and proper setup, like quality cables and compatible devices, it can settle well into your system and reduce cable chaos effectively. And if nothing else, it's a conversation starter. Just don't blame me if your HDMI switch tries to moonlight as a stand-up comedian and bombs the timing. Thanks for sticking around to get the full scoop on the Monoprice Blackbird 4x1 HDMI switch. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more honest, no-fluff product insights. And again, if you're ready to buy, the link is waiting for you in the description below with up-to-date pricing. Save yourself some time and headaches by making an informed decision, because when it comes to your home theater, every switch counts. Happy watching!